Guys, if you remember, in our last video we spoke about selling on eBay and I showed how much money we made selling on eBay in only 14 days. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, it is quite a lot. Now this video did fairly well, getting about 60 or 70 views at the time of filming, and we had one question. It's one of the best questions that I have in a comment as of yet. I'm going to read it out to you guys, and obviously it is a purpose for this video, so please do watch until the end if you want the answer to this question and the experience that I have and the stuff that you can learn and must know if you want to dropship on eBay. Anyway, so the question is by Marketman Mike, and it reads as following. Looks like a great way to make money in regards to eBay dropshipping, but doesn't eBay have a policy about not dropshipping, as in you can't do it? And you need to get a signed agreement or a wholesaler deal or something like that. So have I ever come up against that issue, and what is the answer to the question as previously outlined? Well, again, thank you very much, Mike, for your question. Let's talk about that in this video. And we'll start off with the answer for the initial question and how to obviously go around ever having any issues with dropshipping, because in my experience of selling on eBay, whilst I have had issues with my accounts, I've never had issues because of dropshipping. I'll talk to you about why that is and ultimately if dropshipping is allowed on eBay. So let's get the big question out of the way first. Is dropshipping actually allowed on sites like eBay? What I must say before I give you my research is, please do your own research and find your own answer to this question before making an eBay account or creating any listings, because whilst my research is mine, I don't have all of the answers. I'm just going off what I've seen. But from what I was able to research, it seems to be the case that eBay doesn't have anything against dropshipping as such. When I typed into Google, does eBay allow dropshipping or whatever similar I typed, this is the answer that I've got. So it's led me to believe that eBay dropshipping is something that is allowed. I researched this just before I made the video, and I researched it before I started selling on eBay way back when, just a couple of months ago. Like I said a second ago, I have had lots of problems with selling on eBay, but none of them have been for dropshipping or anything like that. And I think the reason why people get in trouble with dropshipping is probably not necessarily because of the dropshipping, but some of the problems associated with dropshipping as a business model and as a whole. So let's talk about how to make dropshipping more efficient so that we never get in trouble with dropshipping on eBay. First things first, I think the problem that most people have with dropshipping and why most people see it as a problem is because they see dropshipping as something where you source products from China and it takes 60 or 70 days to come. This is not going to work, and this is where most people in dropshipping, whether it's on Shopify, Amazon or even eBay, go completely wrong. This is not what dropshipping is anymore. People have become wise to it, and fairly so, rightly so. A lot of these items coming from China that take 12 days, 24 days, 65 days, no one's buying these items, because who's going to buy something from China for 65-day shipping, even if it is only 10p? Like, I could get the item for £1 and it's worth getting it tomorrow to save the time. So if you're drop shipping out products that take a month or more to arrive, you are probably going to get in trouble with both eBay and your customers, because they will not be happy unless this is disclosed, and even then you probably may have some problems. I taught one of my mates about how to do this. I said, this is how you get the listings, this is how you find the products, all the sort of stuff that I would teach if I was to make a comprehensive eBay dropshipping course. And this guy knew everything as to what to do. And then he comes back about 3 weeks later, like, my customer's complaining. I'm like, why? And he says that the item's not arrived. And I'm like, it's been 3 weeks. That's not on. So make sure that your items come fairly quickly. This is the best way to avoid any problems with eBay dropshipping. With my listings, look for items that arrive in 12 days or less as an absolute upper limit. I'm looking more within that 7 days or less range for the item to arrive. My experience, this is probably the threshold as to what most people are comfortable with. If you can get faster, even better. And most people are going to be like, well, how do I get a dropshipping supplier that comes that quick? The thing is, a lot of these Chinese dropshipping suppliers are aware of the fact that Europeans and Americans and people in the opposite side of the world don't want to wait 60 days for a product. So what I've noticed is a lot of the suppliers have started operating warehouses in England or Germany or France, and what this means is that anywhere in Europe, for example, the item can get delivered within probably a week or two, which obviously allows you to sell more items and cuts down on the waiting time. So look for the good suppliers, and if you don't have the information readily available from your suppliers, please do ask. If you think the item can do well, start asking about it with suppliers. In my experience, if you say to a supplier, hey, I want to start a dropshipping store, I have the potential for many sales to come to your business, can you tell me this, they are more than happy to collaborate and discuss it. And I'd be asking all of the questions that a customer will need to know. Where is the item shipped from? Who do you ship it with, and do you provide tracking? What's the best price that we can do in this item? How many items do you have? What's the quality of the item like? These are the things that will stop us having trouble with dropshipping. It's dropshipping as a business model that's fine, it's the way that people do it that's completely wrong. The items need to come as quick as possible. So as you can probably tell, the main problems that people seem to have with eBay dropshipping is the shipping itself. It needs to be quick. But on top of that, there's something else that you must do when it comes to eBay dropshipping. It's provide the tracking information if you can, and if you can't, find a supplier that can. The reason why my other eBay account got restricted, if you remember me discussing it, was because I couldn't provide every single tracking number. It had nothing to do with dropshipping. A lot of the items I actually sent from the post office to begin with. But my point is, I didn't have the tracking information. So when eBay and the customers wanted it, it's not there. There's no proof of postage, and that's going to really potentially hurt you in the future if somebody wants to claim that an item didn't arrive when you know that it did, or something like that. Make sure you get postage and tracking for every single item, and always update it with eBay. Never miss updating it. Update it every single time for every single item. You'll not regret that if you carry on with dropshipping. So by doing the two previously mentioned things, you allow eBay and your customers to know a few things about you. You allow them to know that you send items quickly. By the way, if you sell items in 5 days, something can come from the UK in that time, so it's not even unreasonable to sell in that time. So you know that your items come on time, we know that you are a legitimate seller, we know that you provide tracking, so you obviously are going to have that information available so your customers feel better about it, and you're probably not going to run into any problems with that. You guys would be completely unaware and probably mystified by how many customers don't care or don't know about dropshipping. Like I said before, I've sold on my other account well over 400 items, 400. You know how many customers complained about dropshipping? 3. That is a less than 1% complaint ratio, which is not bad. And out of those 3 cases, one of them had to get refunded, and another one said, do you dropship this item? I said, I'm going to be honest, yes. And I said to the customer, look, I can ship this item to you in 5 days because of my supplier. The customer then said, well, it makes a bit of sense that you were going to charge a bit more for that, and we were still able to go through with the sale. Most people do not care. I can't remember what happened with the other case, but you get the point. Like, you can even refund them, or you can answer their questions, and most people will be fine just leaving it at that. Last issue that you're going to want to look into with dropshipping is quality. Now, in another video, I'm probably going to make a complete guide on this, whether it's in a course or a YouTube guide. Another thing about dropshipping that I must say, find the correct suppliers. Find the correct suppliers. And this is very easy. I'm not talking necessarily about the shipping time, I'm talking more so about the quality of the item. Even if you get a full refund for your item once it's been returned to you and then returned to the supplier, you still have to pay the eBay fees a lot of the times for returns. So you want to make returns as infrequent as possible. I recommend having them on as an option because customers feel more assured, but what I would say is, try and stop returns from happening, and you do this by sourcing the correct products. We're looking for things with good reviews and positive feedback. We're looking for things that may be a tiny bit more expensive than the cheapest option, but you know they're going to be better. Your customers will thank you for it, and that will also save you a lot of headaches down the road. So to summarize this video up, because I know that I went into a lot of detail on each one of these subtopics, make sure you add tracking to your items, make sure that items are high quality, and make sure that items arrive fairly quickly. These are going to stop you from having any issues or most issues with dropshipping. You're still going to have the odd weird case that pops up about something or other, but this is going to stop a lot of your issues. Research for yourself whether eBay dropshipping is allowed, because I obviously cannot tell you 100%. I just have done the research that I've done, and that's not conclusive. I only take responsibility for my actions with eBay, and I think that's fair. But if you do want to have a successful dropshipping business and want to avoid as many problems as possible with dropshipping, these are the basics that you must master. So we can talk about these themselves, how I find the right suppliers, how I find the right shipping, how I find good items, but I think this covers the general question. What you dropship, how you dropship, that's up to you. But these are the basic rules of dropshipping, finding good products and finding a way to get them to the customer quickly. So with that being said, that's basically everything that I wanted to touch on in this video. Thank you for watching it, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and I hope I will see you in our next one, which will be coming out again very, very soon.